Hey, welcome back. I've been trying out other video editing software. Could not find one that worked, so we're just going to go back to doing this until we can move on to a video software that works properly, or we can get some actual, solid currency up in this place. Okay, here's the problem. When you attack somebody in Pathfinder, D&D, any of the D20 based systems, you roll D20, and then you add stuff on top of that, you take stuff away from that. And the issue is that in a lot of cases, it's very hard to understand how exactly damage and hit chances work. Let me explain, if I can, relatively quickly. You roll a D20, a 20-sided dice, and typically 11 or higher is a hit. Now, assuming that your dexterity isn't anything significant, and all these other factors don't really come into play, you can say there's like a 50% chance you're going to hit somebody if they're within first range increment. So when it comes to pistols, it might be 40 feet. With rifles, it's 60 to maybe 100 feet typically. So the problem that I have to deal with is when you're attacking somebody, you have to deal with their armor class. And that could be boosted by really tough armor, being ridiculously small, being ridiculously agile, all kinds of factors. So you could have a tiny little pixie and a walking tank, and they both could have ridiculously high armor classes. That's the issue. And I always wanted to separate those two things because being impossibly hard to damage and being impossibly hard to hit are two different things in my mind. So what I considered is, why don't we just, make things sort of simple and just have armor tiers. Up to the armor tier, certain types of damage cannot hurt you. So like a bladed weapon will go right through your Kevlar vest. No problems, no issues. But bullets up to that tier can't hurt you. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And then when you get to the tier, it depends on how much damage is dealt. So maybe the round tumbles, maybe it hits the wrong part of the vest, maybe it doesn't have a really good effect. Maybe it has a really great effect. So it depends. So if it's at the tier, there's a chance that you'll get knocked unconscious. There's might be a chance you'll get dazed, you'll get stunned. There might be a chance that nothing will happen. There'll be a chance that the vest could fail or the helmet could fail, and you could either die or get severely hurt. And I really like that system. I really, really do. Here's the part where I get really, really indecisive, though. Okay, maybe we could say that if you barely get hit, let's say that you have a dexterity of 12, like slightly above average. Let's say someone hits you, okay? With a gun, they shoot you. They just barely shoot you. They hit 11. They're 1 point from not hitting you, okay? So they barely hit you. What would they hit? What part of your body would they hit? Would they hit you in the torso? Would they shoot your ear off? Would they hit you in the finger, the arm, the extremities? What I've considered is 11 and 12 is your arms typically, because these are kind of in front of your torso or they're next to your torso, and they kind of stick out when you're leaning around corners, just lean around the corner. But 13 and 14 would be your legs, which are a little bit harder to hit, but are still pretty damn big. And then after that could be 15, 16, 17, and 18, which could be your torso. So if you're wearing a Kevlar vest, then what happened is, if you get those 4 numbers, you're not hurt. If you get anything between 1 and 10, you don't get hit in the first place. And, criticals will probably just kill you instantly. Or the way I set up is that if it's a player, you get your shoulder blown out or something important. And you basically are on death's door and they have to save your life. But you don't instantly die, like a headshot or whatever. But typically, 19 and 20 would be the head, and then 19 would be the neck and the groin, which are like really important areas that would totally get you killed. Also, 19 could also be, if you're not wearing a lot of armor, it could also be like a heart shot or anything like that. So it really depends. So I've considered that system as one way of doing it, but I'm really considering another system because I keep thinking about the issue and it just doesn't quite work. Here's the other side of the issue, though. What happens if someone pulls out the most common weapon in Call of Duty in the game, and they shoot you with the M1911 45 ACP, and it does 2d6 plus 1, and they roll 6s, 2 of them. Perfect shot. 13 points of damage to the tip of your finger, and you're basically on death's door. You're bleeding out severely, or you're at least unconscious. There's no way you can have more hit points than 13, unless you got some really, really good stats, you've been min-maxing, or cybernetic enhancements, or something or other. What happens if that goes down? Because lately what I've been doing is I just assume, oh, your finger got blown off, your finger's dead. It's been separated from your body. That part of your body's dead. That's what I just assumed. But what do I do about the system if I want it to actually make sense and be completely cohesive? I mean, it's way too complicated, obviously. Maybe I could do what the fantasy DMs do and have a lot of damage correlate to something important getting hit, like a major artery. Maybe your arm got blown up and blood's just squirting out of the stump. Maybe your hand got shot off and just shooting blood out of that as well. Maybe he got bitten, maybe he got stabbed, maybe he got poisoned really severely. Who knows? Let's just have a lot of damage correlate to getting hit really, really bad, and maybe that could just be the solution that I need. And I'm not quite sure if I want to do that, though, because what I really want to happen is I want people to be wearing a vest and get shot in the arm sometimes. That way they are encouraged to use lots of armor and to use a lot of cover at the same time, or to be really, really nimble. Because I don't want people just, running around with a ton of armor on and just, never getting shot in the extremities. I want them to be careful, and I want them to think things through. And then maybe if they're fighting an enemy with really tons of armor, maybe they'll call a shot, take the -2 to hit, and just deal with that. But be able to disable a person's arm, or blow it off, or do something really extraordinary. So I'm not quite sure what to think about that. And then another thing I was thinking about is, what happens if you call a shot on someone's limb, you hit the limb, but you do tons and tons of damage? Like, what happens if you call a shot and you get a critical? Then what? Are they instantly dead? You just blow their whole arm off? Is that realistic? How would I implement that? So, something I'm really thinking about, and I want to know what you think about it as well. What are your thoughts? Is this interesting? If you're a player, tell me what you thought in all the previous games we've been in. If you're a Apostle player, I don't know, tell me what you're thinking. If you're some other person important in my life, or some other DM, again, I'd like to hear your opinion. Peace out. Trying to get killed. And chivalry has come to steal our guns. Hashtag, wait. Why is that in the video? I'm confused. I'm very confused. Like, I'm a big, huge Bernie supporter. But I'm not sure what her kind of take your guns has to do with the video. Hopefully this video's link doesn't make people not want to click on it. Should I make this part separate as like an outtake? I have no idea. I need to signal to people that, like, if a video is ridiculously long, a good portion of it you don't have to watch. It's kind of important to me. Just a heads up to all the rest of you.